In this video, we talk about one more error detection method that we call it as checksum. So in previous video, we have addressed one of the error detection method, uh, which make use of this one CRC logic, and where it is going to calculate the remainder by using a predetermined divisor, and then after the same divisor is used at the receiver to calculate the syndrome. If the syndrome value is 0, then there is no error, or if syndrome value is non-zero, there is an error. Likewise, we have discussed, but we have some so CRC came in different variations. Those variations comes from the divisor. There are different kinds of divisors which are existed, uh, that purely indicating the performance of the algorithm. So if you go on increasing the power, like if you have more power in the equation, those many number of errors it is going to quarter. So likewise, complexity of the CRC standards are defined with the help of this divisor selection. So likewise, we have seen this CRC, and there is one more method which is very simple method, which is adopted by most of the internet protocols, is called as a checksum. So in checksum method, the idea is very simple. If you want to send the data like a units, all this data is added and one more unit is prepared. All this data is added, one more unit is prepared, and that is what sent to the receiver. And the receiver also doing the same sum. If the sum is equivalent to the last word, if the sum is equivalent to the last word, then you can conclude that no changes are made to this data during the transmission. If something is wrong, like if it is not equal to that sum, then there is an error. There is an error. So this way, our data is summed. The checksum means our data is summed and one sum parameter is sent up. And at receiver side also same methodology is applied, and then that sum is compared, calculated sum and sent sum is compared. So this way checksum method will work. So let me see the diagram where you can easily understand. Now for example, we have the sender side data, that is 7, 11, 12, 0, 6, and this 0 is not part. Actually in this place we need to add the sum. We need to add the sum. So what we need to do is we need to calculate the sum. We need to calculate the sum. So now there are some problems when you are calculating the sum. For example, if you are representing your data unit with 4 bits, let us say if you are representing your data unit with 4 bits, and that sum may exceed that 4 bits, like if you see this one 7, you require 3 bits, 11, 12, these are enough. The problem in this sum calculation is whatever the sum we calculated may not fit to the data bits. Like if you have 7 here, so now 7 can be represented with 3 bits. So we are we have a size of message size of 4 bits, let us say. So all can be represented with 4 bits. But your sum, whatever we have 36, 36 cannot be fit into this 4-bit message word, because we are sending that data in message by message. Each message can carry 4 bits of information, but 36 cannot be represented with 4 bits. So in order to continue this discussion, how sum is calculated and how sum is fit into the message size units, what we are trying to do is we are trying to do the wrapping concept. So the concept of wrapped sum is, if you take this one, so what it is going to do is that the rightmost leftmost bit 3 is taken out and added to this 6, added to this 6. So that what happens is it becomes 9. Checksum now becomes 9. So if you want to understand in in binary notation, we have 36 representation, but we are allowed to take how many number of bits? Only 4 bits. So these 2 bits are taken out and added to this 4 bits, whatever we have considered. When you add it, then you'll get a number of 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Now we got a 6. Now if you got 6, now what we have sent? 9 we have sent. But in order to improve the process of this checksum, what they try to do is they try to calculate complement of the given number. Complement in the sense negative number. Complement of the given number is taken and that is sent. Whenever this sum is added, as it is a complement one, means it is a negative number, this sum is positive one, this negative sum and whatever the negative sum we have sent, both are neutralized, and the receiver will get an answer of 0. if there is no error. So in order to do that, so it can be implemented in different ways. You can directly send the sum and their receiver can do the sum and compare the sum. This is one methodology. And why? In order to reduce the burden on the receiver, receiver is having a simple logic: sum everything, and if you got 0, there is no error. If it is non-zero, there is error. If you want to make use of such kind of methodology, instead of sending the sum instead of sending the sum, what they are trying to send is, they are trying to send complement of it. Complement in the sense negative number is sent. Now when negative number is sent, how this negative number is calculated means in the form of ones complementation notation. In the form of ones complement notation. So when you got 6, so its complement its complement is 1001. Actually here there is a mistake in the slide. So now 9 can be represented by complementing. We got sum of 6, and then we need to send the complement negative number we need to send. So then 1 complement to that 1100, and this 0 converted into 1 here. This 0 converted into 1, and then only it becomes 9. 1001 is 9. So that 9 is sent as part of the data. This way the sum is prepared at the sender side. Now when it comes to this side, receiver side method, in receiver side whatever we have sent is taken. So okay, and that is started summing in the sense, if you take this one 7, 11, everything is taken, and 9 is the sum what we have sent just now. And if you sum it, what we will get is, we will get 45. When 45 when you come across 45, then 45 cannot be represented with the 4 bits. Then again it is wrapped in the sense, other than 4 bits, how many bits are extra? Those extra bits are wrapped and added to the same number. Now you will get a answer of 1 1, 0 1 it is 1, and 1 0 it is 1. So you will get 15 1 5, and complement it. Whenever 15 is complemented, then you will get answer of 0. So now from the receiver side logic, entire content is taken, started doing the sum, and if the sum results in 0, there is no error in the data transmission. So this way errors can be detected by using checksum also, which is very simple method which depends on basic this additions. Okay, so this way it is going to work, and let us see what is the logic performed at sender side. In sender side, what happens is, message is divided into 4-bit words, and the value of checksum is initially 0 because we have not calculated. That's the reason it is set to 0. And after that, all the words are added, and then it is going to take the ones complement of it. Ones complement in the sense negative number. So they are going to send the negative sum, and the sum is complemented and becomes the checksum. The sum is complemented and becomes the checksum. So once you got this checksum, the checksum is sent with the data. Now when you observe at receiver side, we got a message including checksum, and again it is divided into 16-bit words, whatever it may be the size. In previous example it is a 4-bit only, but in general internet make use of 16-bit words or 32-bit words or 64-bit, that depends. So now again what they are trying to do is, they are trying to add the content. All words are added using ones complement, and the sum is complemented, and that becomes the new checksum which is calculated at the receiver. When that checksum is 0, then the value is accepted, the message is accepted, and otherwise if it is non-zero, then the entire data what we received is rejected because it is having some error. This way we make use of checksum methodology, which is to detect the errors. So this is end of this error detection methodologies. So far we have seen simple parity check, two-dimensional parity check, Hamming code, which is error detection as well as correction, and after that we come across CRC, which is again error detection code. And in CRC we have seen how the polynomials are selected in order to come across different types of errors like single bit error, isolated double errors. Likewise there are many methodologies we come across. Okay, so that is for error control in data link layer. One of the responsibility of data link layer is error control, and that's what we have completed. So in next class we talk about access control. In next video we will give the concepts which are related to access control and that is again one more responsibility of the data link layer.